Motorola just announced the Moto G Power 2026, and the headline feature is a bigger battery than any Moto G Power before it, 5,200 milliamp hours. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. That sounds impressive until you realize it's only 200 milliamp hours more than last year. And in a world where some budget phones are pushing 7,000 milliamp hours, this upgrade feels both important and slightly underwhelming at the same time. Here's why this phone still matters. The Moto G Power lineup has always been about one thing: reliable battery life at a price that doesn't hurt. For a lot of people, especially in North America, that's still the top priority. You want a phone that lasts all day, maybe two, without babying it, and you don't want to pay flagship money to get there. Motorola knows this audience very well, and the 2026 model sticks closely to that formula. The big story here is that 5,200 milliamp hour battery. It's the largest battery Motorola has ever put in a Moto G Power, and somehow they managed to fit it into the exact same body as last year's model. Same size, same weight, same overall feel in the hand. That's actually more impressive than it sounds. The downside, of course, is expectations. With phones in China and India going far beyond this capacity, it's hard not to wonder why Motorola didn't push further. Still, paired with a 1080p LCD and a relatively efficient chip, battery life should remain one of this phone's strongest selling points. And yes, a lot of the rest will look very familiar if you've seen the Moto G Power 2025. You're getting a 6.8-inch LCD display with a 120Hz refresh rate, which is still solid at this price. The resolution is 2388 by 1080, sharp enough for daily use, scrolling feels smooth, and it's big, great for videos, social media, and casual gaming. Under the hood, nothing has changed. The MediaTek Dimensity 6300 processor is back, the same chip as last year. It's not flashy, it's not fast, but it's dependable. Everyday tasks, apps, streaming, messaging, all fine. This phone isn't trying to impress power users, and Motorola clearly decided stability mattered more than chasing benchmark numbers. Memory and storage are generous for the price. You get 8 GB of RAM, expandable up to 24 GB using RAM Boost, plus 128 GB of internal storage. There's also a micro SD card slot that supports up to 1 TB, which is becoming rare and is still a big win for budget buyers. Cameras are another area where Motorola made a meaningful, if limited, improvement. The main rear camera remains a 50-megapixel sensor with optical image stabilization and quad-pixel tech, paired with an 8-megapixel ultra-wide lens. Nothing revolutionary here, but reliable. The bigger upgrade is on the front. The selfie camera jumps from 16 megapixels to 32 megapixels, also with quad-pixel technology. For video calls, social media, and selfies, that's a noticeable step up, and one of the few changes that actually feels new. Software-wise, the phone launches with Android 16 out of the box. That's expected, but still nice to see at this price. Motorola's clean Android experience remains one of its quiet strengths, even if long-term update support still lags behind Samsung. Where the Moto G Power 2026 really separates itself from most budget phones is durability. This thing is IP68 and IP69 rated, meaning serious water and dust resistance. On top of that, it meets mil-standard 810H military durability standards and uses Gorilla Glass 7i on the front. That's rare even in much more expensive phones. If you're rough on your devices, this might be one of the toughest $300 phones you can buy. Design-wise, it's familiar but polished. The new Pantone Evening Blue and Pantone Pure Cashmere colors look cleaner and more premium than last year's options. It doesn't look exciting, but it doesn't look cheap either. At $299.99 in the US, the Moto G Power 2026 sits comfortably in the budget space. Compared to something like the Galaxy A36 5G, Samsung offers a faster chip and likely better long-term updates, but Motorola counters with a bigger battery, stronger durability, a headphone jack, and expandable storage. So who is this phone really for? If you're already using a Moto G Power 2025, there's honestly very little reason to upgrade. The changes are too small. But if you're coming from an older phone, or if battery life, toughness, and price matter more to you than raw performance, the Moto G Power 2026 makes a strong case. It's not exciting, it's not bold, but it's dependable. And once that inevitable price drop to around $249 hits, it becomes even easier to recommend. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.